Hi all, welcome to the workshop. We now have issue 83 of Eaglemoss's Build the Delorean. So we now have issue 83. We're going to be building up more of the engine surround. So let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got some more wiring. We have some metal mesh. We have a wire clip. We have another tab. We have some AM screws, some AP screws. We have these cartridges, some blue storage units. We have some cylinders. We have a base plate. And we have a pipe. Oh, and I almost missed some more MP screws. And we've also got the bit we worked on in issue 81 and 82. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting our silver cylinders, and we are going to be wrapping this mesh around it. We just need to bend that around this. Now it does have two holes in it, as does this. So when we come to do it, we're going to be lining up those holes eventually to screw it in place. Now I'm just using the cylinder to bend this around, and it is bending fairly nicely. Trying not to trying not to bend it so that it goes off at an angle, but that's what that looks like. And see, the holes don't quite line up, but if we just push them together slightly, then they will line up, and we can put a couple of screws into that. And we're going to be using the MP screws for that. So just aligning the holes. And putting two screws in. And that now looks like this. Now we're going to be doing the exact same thing for this one. And that's what those are looking like. The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking our base plate and we're going to be placing these on top of the base plate. They are keyed, and they've got a appropriate keyway on here as well, so they can only go on one way, and they go on just like that. And then we'll be using an AP screw in each of those to secure them. I'm going to switch for the bigger tip. One. 2. And that's what that looks like. We're now going to be adding that to the previous part, and it's going to go just in here. It'll only go one way around, and it's the screws towards the inner part of the engine. Oops. So we're going to secure that in place with another AP screw. And that's just going to go in here. Just like that. We're next going to get our storage units, and we're going to be putting that right next to them, and again there's a unique key so that it will only go in one way around. We're going to be securing that again with another AP screw, and that thing's going to get glued if it keeps falling off. So that's what that's looking like now, and I have just glued this. It's fell off one too many times for me, so I've just put a couple of dabs of glue just on the back, just to hold that in place now. So moving on to this, we're going to need some of the wires that we got this issue. So we got this curled wire, and we also got these red wires, 4 of them, that are coiled up and have these little connectors on the ends. These are the ones we're going to need now, and we're going to be basically adding them onto here and then training them so that they come down next to the storage units. We're going to be adding those on there using the silver MP screws. So I'm going to switch to the smaller screwdriver bit, and we're going to get those done. So I've now put all these on, I've tied the cable up, and I've put them through this hole here, and they've come through there. Next thing we need to do is take our braid cable, and it says to just poke that also through the same hole. So all the wires are now poked through that hole, and we're going to secure that in place just here with this little tab, and we're going to secure that with an AM screw. So that's those cables secured there. And just move the excess out of the way for a minute. And then next we want to have this cable only going to be coming across here, and we're going to be securing it in place with this little bracket here. And we're going to be securing that with 2 AM screws. That seems to be a better fit. One in there. And one just in there. And that's what that's looking like there. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is grabbing our pipe, and we're going to be lining up with these 3 holes on the side here. I'm just going to be pressing that in just like that. Just going to ensure that these cables are pushed nicely out of the way here. Next thing I'm going to be doing is constructing the cylinders here, and they just push together. They are keyed, so they only go one way. Give them a really good push. And that will sit in. I'm not sure about that. Got this little extra bit from the moulding, so I'm just going to cut that off, because that stopped that one from sitting down properly. So that's now sitting in there properly. We're then going to be positioning these on here with the narrow end pointing towards this section here. So it will sit just in here like this. Just going to move those cables out of the way a little bit. Just going to line the holes up. They line up just here, and then we'll be using 2 AP screws to screw those in place. Bigger screwdriver bit for that. And that's those in there like that. The next thing we're doing is we're going to be routing this cable, and it appears to go around these cylinders, and looks like we want to do like a figure of 8 according to the instructions. So around there and back through and over again like that. So something similar to that. And that just floats off at the edge there. And that finishes that stage. Thank you for visiting the workshop. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of how the Delorean progresses, or anything else that goes on in the workshop, remember to hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. I'll see you around.